There are moments in life when the world seems to be built against you. You're born into a place where opportunities are a luxury, and survival is the only goal. But some people, despite all odds, rise from the ashes and touch the skies. With luck, but with grit, sacrifice, and belief. Let me tell you the story of Sarah, a girl born in the slums of Manila. Her home was a small wooden shack, barely holding together during storms. Her mother washed clothes, and her father, disabled, after an accident, sold small trinkets on the street. Sarah had dreams, big dreams. She wanted to study, learn, grow, and escape. Every morning before the sun rose, Sarah would collect used plastic bottles to sell for coins. With those few pesos, she bought old books from second-hand markets. She studied under a street lamp at night because they had no electricity. Her classmates mocked her torn clothes and broken shoes. But Sarah never wavered. One day, her determination caught the eye of a retired teacher who saw her reading alone on the roadside. That teacher, Mrs. Alvarez, decided to help. She gave Sarah books, taught her English, and encouraged her to apply for a scholarship. After months of preparation, Sarah passed the entrance test for a prestigious university in Manila. At university, things weren't easy. She worked 3 part-time jobs, cleaning homes, waiting tables, and assisting in a library, but she never complained. In just 4 years, she graduated top of her class in computer science. A tech startup hired her, and within 5 years, she started her own digital company. Today, Sarah is a millionaire. She runs an international tech firm, employs hundreds, and builds free schools in the same slums where she once lived. She says success isn't about money, it's about refusing to stay where life threw you. Then there's the story of Rakesh from India. Born in a tiny village in Bihar, his family of 6 lived in a mud hut. His father was a laborer who earned barely enough to feed them. Rakesh had only one shirt for school, and most days he walked. Barefoot, one summer, a heat wave killed hundreds in his village. Rakesh volunteered with a group providing water and aid. That's where he met a young engineer from Delhi. Impressed by Rakesh's sharp thinking and ability to solve problems even without formal education, the engineer gave him mentorship. Rakesh learned coding on an old computer donated by a local school. He started repairing mobile phones, then built a simple app to help local farmers track crop prices. That app went viral. Investors came. With time, Rakesh created an agricultural platform that now serves millions across India. He never moved to a big city. He still lives in his village, but has built schools, hospitals, and a digital library. Rakesh says, "My poverty taught me innovation. I just had to believe my story could be bigger than my problems." There are hundreds more like Jamal from Morocco who sold bread on the roadside and later became a property tycoon. Or Alina from Kenya who lost her parents at 12 and raised her siblings alone while studying by candlelight, and is now a lawyer fighting for orphaned children's rights. What all of them had in common wasn't wealth, education, or connections. It was hunger to rise, not just for themselves, but for others too. Because the truth is, poverty teaches pain, but it also teaches power, the power of will, the strength of discipline, and the courage to dream beyond the walls that try to contain you. Their journey began in darkness, but they chose to become their own light. As we continue exploring real-life journeys from poverty to prosperity, let me share with you the story of Diego from Brazil. He grew up in the favelas of Rio, surrounded by crime, drugs, and despair. His mother worked as a cleaner, often coming home bruised and exhausted. Diego never knew his father. By age 10, he had witnessed violence that would haunt most for a lifetime, but Diego found escape through dance. He watched tourists perform on the beaches and mimicked their moves. At night, he danced alone, barefoot on the rooftops of the slum. A tourist once recorded him and shared the video online. It went viral. That video reached a famous dance academy in Paris. They offered Diego a scholarship. Leaving his city, his mother, his language, it was terrifying, but he went. Years later, Diego became a world-renowned ballet dancer, performing in the biggest theaters across the globe. Now, he runs a dance school in Rio for children in the favelas because he knows how one moment of belief can change a lifetime. Then there's Aisha from Pakistan, a child laborer in a brick kiln. She carried heavy loads before she even learned to read. Her hands cracked, her back ached, but her eyes sparkled with determination. One day, a local activist took a picture of her and posted it with the caption, "If she can carry this weight, imagine what she could do with a pen." The photo went viral. Donations came in. Aisha was rescued, educated, and within 10 years she became a doctor. Today she runs a clinic for children rescued from forced labor. She says, "I couldn't change my childhood, but I can help others live theirs." And how can we forget Omar, a refugee boy from Syria? His home was bombed. He lost his entire family. Alone, he crossed borders, slept in camps, begged for food. But he had one thing, a small notebook where he wrote every day. Poetry, ideas, stories. That notebook became a memoir. When a volunteer read it, she shared it online. Publishers reached out. Omar's book, The Boy with No Home, became a bestseller. Now a young adult, he speaks at the UN, advocating for peace and refugee rights. He says, "They took my country, but not my voice." Each of these stories proves something deep. You can be born with nothing and still change everything. The road from poverty to wealth isn't a straight line. It's broken, muddy, filled with fear, sacrifice, and doubt. But those who walk it with heart, resilience, and purpose eventually reach a place not just of riches, but of impact. True wealth isn't only in the bank. It's in the lives changed, the pain overcome, the hope given. It's in the hands that were once empty, but now build dreams for others. So if you're watching this and feel stuck, remember these stories. Remember that every successful person was once where you are. It starts with a choice, not to give up, not to settle, not to believe the lies poverty whispers. Because greatness isn't born, it's built. One step, one fight, one act of courage at a time.